Welcome to the Generation Elevation podcast, a conscious, connected platform for those who are ready to manifest their dream life. I'm your host, Elise Riley, a former PT, now motivational speaker, igniting empowerment and transformation all across the globe. Here at Generation Elevation, we are committed to bringing you the most inspiring guests who will share their stories, wisdom, and advice to help you progress closer to living a life of your own terms.
What is up, beautiful people? Today, I am joining you from my hotel room in Dubai. Wow, I'm so excited to record this episode and share with you the adventures and experiences that I have been on in the last 10 days. I am excited to share with you how I got here and all of it. But before I do, if you are not subscribed to my show, please make sure you click the notification bell, follow, and if you do enjoy my episodes, I would love it if you could share on your stories, because that obviously helps my platform grow. I'm literally just doing this organically at the moment, and it is a passion project, and I'd really appreciate your support to just get it out there to more people. For those of you that have been following along for the second year, this is literally the second year of my show now coming into, I just want to say wow, thank you all so much for being here. Whether this is your first episode, whether this is your 104th, I just want to say from my heart to yours, I love you all so much. Thank you. So a couple of weeks ago, I recorded a podcast on regulating your nervous system. And it's so interesting. I actually started to record this episode several times, and I was like, Elise, just stop being a perfectionist and just speak freely like you're speaking to your best friends. And you guys are my best friends, so we're gonna just chat. And I don't know where this is gonna go. I'm gonna speak about my adventures. I'm gonna speak about what brought me over to Dubai just for a holiday and go from there. So for me, I rarely invest money into holidays and myself. Back in the day, I've never used to do this as a PT. I was just always focusing on investing in learning and growth. And it wasn't until I really moved to London, which is when I started to have more traveling experiences and realized that actually was investing into my learning and growth as well. However, from me, I'm such a saver, and I've always been like that from my childhood. So whenever it was if I buy something a piece of clothing or save up for an experience later, it would always be the experience later. So for me, I usually would just continue to work and put things off. And that was a pattern of mine for ages before I started personal development. Now, sometimes when I'm not grounded in my reality, so what that means essentially for myself is if I'm not sleeping properly, if I'm not getting the basics done, sleep, food, nutrition, training, social time or alone time, meditating, all the things that really ground me, then my routine goes so out of whack, and I end up just going into my pattern, my old patterns start coming and resurfacing. So feeling insecure in my body, feeling really exhausted and tired, and coming from a place of scarcity, hustle mode. So all the things that I've really worked hard on in my past start to resurface when I'm not grounded by doing the things that actually help with my health. Okay. So a lot of clients, when they first come to me and they say oh my gosh, Elise, I'm feeling really stuck and stagnant and blocked and confused or lost. I'm okay, let's just start at the start, which is getting the physical body sorted. What is your routines? What is your sleep like? Are you hitting the basic human needs to survive? And for me, I literally wasn't. I was just working like a crazy lady, and my body was then physically trying to tell me to stop and slow down. So I started to experience heart palpitations. My mindset was super strong though. I was I feel really happy. I feel good. I'm still meditating. and I'm still thinking positively with like a roller coaster dips. That's because obviously I was quite burnt out. And yeah, my body was like, no, Elise, you need to slow down. You need some sun, girl. Like, you are pasty. So for me, I literally was like, okay, I had always had in my mind that I would go to Dubai, end up in Dubai some way or another. I knew that when I did go, it would be the perfect timing and that I would meet people that are here, important for my growth, my business, potential clients, etc. So I had this in my mind like last year and I was like, nah, it's not this year, it's next. So I put it on my vision board for the start of this year when I recorded goal setting with a woo-woo twist. That is one of the episodes that I did at the start of this year. Go check it out if you haven't already, because like some of the stuff that I put in there are already happening for me. And I know a lot of other people got lots from that episode. So definitely go suss that one. Now, I put on this vision board a picture of this woman like doing this really beautiful pose in Dubai. And literally like the other day I took that photo and I was like, tick, bitches, like I'm kicking goals. So essentially I was meditating the other day and I had a calling come through, a download, an idea, an intuitive feeling that I need to go. Time for Dubai, baby. And I was like, okay, cool. Like intuition, guides, what date do I need to go? And they're like, you need to go like really soon. I was like, okay, yeah, but when, please? Like what date? And like, just check, like need more information. So I was like, okay, clearly it's coming soon. And then I was like, okay, time to book. I got the calling, it's time to book. So I looked on and I was like, all right, okay, this is a bit out of my comfort zone, because to invest in the flights, it was like quite a lot more than what I was expecting. So I was like, okay, breathe. I'm investing in myself. Like I'm investing in my own fun. I'm investing in like my own growth. Like I deserve this. And it's so cool to be able to share this with you all, because I know that some of you may also experience this too. And yeah, I just want to be authentic and share, like, even though I am a coach, like I still experience these thoughts of like, oh my gosh, like, oh, breathe, and then keep going. So it's almost like for me, I feel the fear and I do it anyway, but I still experience the fear. I am human. So I had this come up for the flights and I was like, okay, just Elise, trust that it's going to be worth it. So yeah, I invested in these flights that were like, probably peak time price. And I was like, you know what? It will pay for itself. This trip will pay for itself. And I was not wrong. Like, this has been one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. And I am just so incredibly grateful. So let's go. I'm going to tell you about what has been happening while I've been here. So essentially I got here on the first day and I'm staying at 5 Palm in Jumeirah. I think that's how you say it. And please forgive me if that is not how you say it. Like, I'm not sure, but that is, if you type that in, you'll figure it out. Okay. So 5 Palm, and basically this hotel room is literally like so beautiful. It overlooks the beach, the city, the marina. It is stunning. I don't think I've ever stayed at a more beautiful hotel in my life. Yeah, so grateful to be here. So that was like the first day. I kind of just did a beach day. It has like a little beach cabana thing that you can go and lie out on the beds. And oh my gosh, to get some sun in my life, like that really filled my cup up so much. And then I went to the Dubai Mall, had a look around that first night, saw the inside aquarium that is in one of the malls. It's absolutely insane. And then, yeah, come back home. It was like a bit of a chill day. Tuesday, this day, we ended up going to the beach in the morning, and then we also did another trip to the Dubai Mall and then went out for dinner. And the restaurants and food, like dining here, is absolutely insane. I'll put like a story highlight on my Instagram where you can go check out like the places that I did eat at, because oh my gosh, the food here is absolutely incredible. So went out for dinner at like this place called XU, which is in one of the malls here in Dubai. And then on the Wednesday, okay, this is probably the favorite part of my trip. We ended up going to some of my friends there. Like, I know you guys know Simon from previous episodes. So I met Simon and his son here, and we ended up going 4-wheel driving in the desert, which was so fun. So we had our driver, Ibra, and he drove us, and I just kept cackling like a little kid. It was so funny. And then we ended up doing the 4-wheel like buggy things, and I was like, oh, nah, like I won't drive for the first bit. And then I sat with Simon and let him drive. He's been doing that for ages. Like, he's kind of grown up around doing that. So he was kind of getting bored. So he's like, at least like you drive. I was like, okay, what have I got to lose, right? So I jump in, drive. Never driven one of these things before, but I know how to drive. Got my license, so should be sweet. I've played Mario Kart, like I know how to drift, So here's me, and I just was like, I can't fail here. So I was like, let's just have fun. And I put my foot flat, and I was fishtailing and like practicing how to drift in the sand. And it was so much fun. Like at one point we were going sideways on this sand dune. could hear Simon just going like, oh. And he was like, oh, it's way more fun you driving because it makes me nervous. But yeah, he said to me, he's like, oh, have you driven one before? I was like, no. He's like, oh, okay, you drive good. So I was like, okay. Like, thank you. That inflated my ego massively. Like, Tokyo Drift, who? So that was the desert day, which finished off with dinner in like the sand dunes. And I would say this experience for me was probably the most beautiful experiences of my life. Like, the peace and serenity out there, like, I'm trying to describe the feeling to my family when I was telling them about it. It's like my heart kind of burst open in an energetic way where I felt so much love and gratitude. And it's like the feeling of taking a deep breath in. It was like, whoa, that's the only way I could describe it. It was so beautiful, and there was a storm rolling in. So in the distance, you could see the lightning over the hills, which was so cool. We had a belly dancer and a fire twirler. I'll put on my social media this video as well, but there's a video of me in the fire twirler, like twirling fire things around my face. And it is so funny. Every time I look at it, I just crack up because my face in it is like, oh, I don't really want to be here, but like all for new experiences. So whatever. Yeah, I'm so much of a yes person. So if someone says like, oh, try this, I'm always going to try it once. If I don't like it, then I won't do it again. But yeah, I'm all for trying new things. So fire twirling around my face was definitely new. Then the next day we went to the 148th floor of the Burj Khalifa, and this is like the tallest building in the world currently. It's like nearly a kilometer high, and I would say like if you go to Dubai, it's definitely something like you kind of have to do. It's like bucket listy, However, when I was at the top, like it's hard to conceptualize how tall it actually is. I was up there and I was just like kind of looking around and admiring the view, but at the same time I was like, I think when you are at the bottom looking up, that's when you can kind of realize like, holy shit, that is so high. So yeah, that was really beautiful. And I ended up also like seeing the fountain, which was cool as well. Then Simon and Xavier, they went home, and I ended up going to El Ro Festival with a couple of the friends that we met here, and I had so much fun. Like Fisher was the headlining act. So if you don't know who Fisher is, he's just like wow, I just started so hard then. He is just like a Australian DJ that has blown up, and yeah, I really vibe his music. So I was like, yep, cool, love a festival. I mean, if you guys have been following me for a while, you all know that I love to go to festivals. Clubbing is not my thing, but a festival, hell yeah, count me in. So that was extremely fun, and same kind of deal that I've had in past experiences is just like over time, through this personal development that I've done with myself, I have grown in confidence so much. Like in the past, I used to think and feel that I needed to get super fucked up or like drink a lot to actually have fun and dance. I always used to say, like, I'm not drunk enough to dance yet. I'm not drunk enough to dance yet. And guys, this is such bullshit. Like I used to say, I'm such a shy person. I'm so shy. It's like, no, that's actually a choice. Like your body goes where your focus is. So if you're focusing on being shy, you'll be shy. If you're focusing on like, I need to do this to get this, then that is what you'll need to do because you believe that, right? So when I started to believe that I'm a confident person, like I don't need that stuff to like have fun, I literally danced all night, and the energy that I had was so magnetic. Like I literally had people coming up to me just wanting to dance with me because of my magnetism, right? So if you like want to be that person in a party, at a club, at a festival, at an event, or even in business where people just are curious about like, why are you so energetic? Why are you so happy? Then all I can say is like, do the work on yourself, practice being in situations that make you feel uncomfortable in a way that it's not like uncomfortable, unsafe, but more so out of your comfort zone. That is what I've done. I've practiced time and time again, talking to strangers, starting up conversations with people that I don't know, dancing when I don't know anyone, or dancing around people that I don't know, or just things that used to scare the shit out of me. I now will be like, oh, well, I don't really care what anyone thinks anymore, because as long as I think a certain way about myself, then that is what I will project out to them, because people are your mirror, right? So if you're scared people will judge you, the only person that's judging you is you. And if you're judging you, then other people will judge you. If you're not judging you, if you are actually loving and appreciating your own energy and your own company, other people will appreciate that too. So that is what I will say for that, is people are your mirror. And I've also done a podcast episode on people are your mirror, perception is projection, explaining that in further detail and the energetics of that. So go check that out if you haven't watched that or listened to that already. So Alro was amazing. Started at 6. We got there like pretty early. And it finished at 2:30, so we left at 2 a.m. and I got home, ordered room service, which I mean is such a luxury. I don't think I've ever ordered room service in my life. So I felt pretty like abundant being able to do that, and had some like sweet potato fries and chicken, went to bed. And then the next day I ended up meeting one of my friends from London who's recently just moved here. And we ended up going to one of like the biggest gyms in the world, which is in Dubai. And oh my gosh, just brought me back to like my bodybuilding roots. Like for those of you that don't know, I've actually competed twice in bodybuilding as like a bikini sports model competitor. People ask me if I'd ever do it again, and my answer is yes, but not yet. So stay tuned. I competed twice, and I've grown up around gyms my whole entire life. My dad, he's a personal trainer, and the gyms that he's worked in, Athletica Health Club, shout out to them, in Preston, Melbourne. I grew up around that sort of space, like the bodybuilding, like warehouse, machines, gyms. Like I freaking love it. Like I think that's the one difference about me, is like I'm such a gym gal as well as a spiritual junkie. So like the both of the two together is such a unique complex that I don't know, I haven't really seen much of before. So yeah, that's what I love about myself, is that unique kind of personality where I'm like, yeah, I'm so competitive in the gym, like because I just want to keep up, and at the same time, like I love to meditate and I love my crystals and worship. So yeah, that was really cool. And that day I got to experience the marina part of the Dubai. So that was quite beautiful. Just went to the beach and then went to a really beautiful Japanese restaurant for dinner, which I don't know if I've mentioned before, but guys, I love sushi so much. Like, someone asked me if I was to do a comp prep again, what would be the food that I eat like afterwards, because like comp prep, it's quite like strict calorie deficit and your quality of food changes so much. Like you can't just eat whatever you want. Like, it's definitely important to have specific macros that are very like whole nutrient dense foods. And usually people like after a comp will eat like donuts or chocolate or cookies or whatever, burgers. I like sushi. Sushi would be the thing that I could eat for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Like, yep, I could do it 100%. I literally had a poke bowl for breakfast this morning, which was tuna, avocado and rice. Like, who is this girl? Who am I? So yeah, that was really good. And then yesterday, okay, this is a really cool story and I'm going to share it anyway. It's fresh and I feel like it will be really cool to share. So I'm going to share it. So yesterday I woke up and I didn't really know what to do because like I had my friends go home and the past few days there was always like plans on. So yesterday was the only day I didn't have plans and I was like, okay, what do I do with myself? Like, I don't even know what to do. So I got up and I went to the beach and I kind of just chilled at the beach for hours. I just really grounded myself, got in the ocean, got my tan on, then went back to the hotel room and I was like, okay, what now? And I started to feel a little bit nervous. I was like, I don't know what to do. I feel like lonely was the word. And then I was like, no, I'm never alone. This is just a feeling of like, okay, I wanted to go out for dinner again and get sushi, but I was like, oh, maybe I should like invite someone to go or see what other people are doing. And then I was like, you know what? Like, what do I want to do? Because I bumped into someone in the hotel and they're like, oh, you should come and play golf with our group and come and join us. I was like, oh yeah, that sounds so fun. And when I got to the hotel room, I was like, oh, should I go or should I not go? And I wanted to share this story with you guys because maybe you've come across this situation in life where you've got a decision to make. Should you do it? Should you not do it? Should you go? Should you stay? Should you go? Should you stay? All right. And for me, like sometimes I get stuck in like such an overthinking or ruminating pattern where I'm like, do I do something different that I've never done before? Or do I do something that I want to do or that is the same or that feels comfortable? And deciphering whether this decision to stay is just because I want to stay in my comfort zone and remain small, or is that my intuition warning me that there's either that option, the other option isn't going to benefit my highest good? With this dilemma that I had, I was like, should I go out and play golf or should I stay home? And I was like, oh, like the thought was if I didn't go out and play golf with these people, then I could miss out on something. So it was quite a thought focused on lack. And the other side of the coin was I really wanted to go and get sushi. I didn't want to play golf. Like I wanted to go and get sushi and take myself out for dinner. And I was like, okay, am I just saying that because I am worried to go out and play golf with a bunch of people that I don't know and experience something new? Like it could be amazing. And I was like, okay, you know what? Whenever you get stuck in like a decision that you need to make, if you don't need to make it that very second, go do something else for like an hour and then come back to it. Distract yourself from that and come back. If your thought is based off fear, right? So I was focusing on the lack, like I don't want to miss out, then you're not focusing on like you're focusing on like the lack of it, right? And then if I was to go and play golf with them, these people that I didn't know, then it would be from this place of scarcity, not because I actually wanted to go, but because I was worried I'd miss out if I didn't. So hopefully that makes sense. I then chose to stay home or stay at the hotel and actually walk down the boulevard here and go to a restaurant instead. So I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I feel a little bit like nervous doing this. I haven't done it in a while. I am going to get dressed up and take some like really cool pictures of myself for Instagram, to get some content and feel good about myself, listen to music, dance, have some fun as if I was around like my best girlfriends, because I'm my best girlfriend. And then I'm going to take myself for dinner, So I got hyped up, which actually worked, and then started looking at all the menus along this boulevard. And as I'm looking at each one, I'm like, oh, nah, the intuition's saying not to go here. Should I go here? Yes or no? No, keep walking. No, keep walking. And I ended up going to this restaurant, and out walks this guy. And I kind of looked at him. I was like, I feel like I need to talk to him. But I was like, no, that's weird. This is weird. So I literally just read the menu. I was like, oh, no, that one, not that one. Keep walking. And so I kept walking. And it ended up that like him and his friend were walking kind of at the same pace I was. So we were like walking next to each other like accidentally as I was going through all these restaurants. And I was like, oh no, they're going to think I'm following them, or this is weird. Like I know I need to talk to them. My intuition was like, you need to talk to them. I was like, no, that's weird. And then one of them turns around and says, are you following us? Like as a joke. And I just said, I'm so sorry. I'm really hungry. I am so indecisive right now. I just don't know where to go. Like, do you recommend anywhere to go? And they're like, go over there. Get away from us. No, they're like, go to that restaurant down there. That's really good. And yeah, if you're around later, like we should link up, because turns out they were both from London. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. And so I decided, all right, I'm going to go get some food, get some sushi. So I had my sushi moment. Yay, Elise, well done. Happy. And as I was sitting there, I was like, you know what? I feel excited to go and meet these two guys. Like, I don't know them from a bar of soap. Like, I don't know what their intentions were. Like, obviously, as a solo girl in a different country, right? When you're solo, you just don't know, like, who to hang out with. And so it's all about trusting, like, your gut instincts and your intuitions in these situations. So I was kind of just like, okay, do I go hang out with them, or do I just go back to my hotel? And I was excited to see them. My intuition was like, go see them for like half an hour, and if you don't like it, you can always just go home, but don't go play golf with those other people. I was like, okay. So I ended up going to meet these two guys and had the most beautiful conversation ever, like with a bunch of strangers. That was just so in alignment. We spoke about really great books. It was inspiring, motivating. Like, I can't even describe to you just what a beautiful synchronicity that moment was. And yeah, I am excited to share how that friendship unfolds, because these people will definitely be people I meet up with in London. And if they're listening to this right now, like, hello, thank you. I had the most amazing time. And yeah, it was just so wholesome, like just meeting some really great, decent humans. And it's funny that we all had to go to Dubai at this specific date and time to meet, because you know what, like I never actually would have probably crossed paths with them in London. So that is what I call magic. And I share this story because this has happened several times in my life, where I will be in a tube in London, or in a shopping center, or in a public space, and be looking at someone and be like, okay, I need to talk to them. Like, I have a feeling I just need to talk to these people, and I don't know why. And then I'm like, oh no, that's weird. Like, they're going to think that I'm into them, or they're going to think that I'm trying to like make a move or whatever. So in the past, I used to always like avoid these conversations, or avoid going out of my comfort zone to talk to these people, because I didn't want to come across in the wrong way. However, every time that I've followed through and trusted myself and gone, you know what, like I should just say hello. Like there's nothing wrong with saying hello to someone. And if they don't say hello back, like nothing changes like at all. I don't lose anything really. So every time that I've done that, the conversations that I've had, the people that I've actually met has been insane. And so I wanted to encourage you all listening to this right now. If you're ever in a space and you're looking at someone and you're like, just keep matching eyes with them, or you keep looking at them, and even if that person is not like physically attractive to you, just know like the people that you meet in your experience literally divinely put there for you and your growth. So the people that you are naturally drawn to, whether that be physically or energetically, they all have something for you just as you have something for them. And you could be missing out on so many opportunities for just great friendships, for love, for abundance, for just a great time when you stop yourself from having the courage to go out of your way to say hello to these people. So I just want to encourage you all today to say hello to people that you don't know, because you just never know who you're standing next to. Literally this morning I went down, it's stormy, and that's why I'm recording this podcast today. I was like, oh, well, it's a podcast day then. And I had my room service pizza and looking out on the view and the storms past, and probably going to go train in a bit. But I sat down and I had some brekkie this morning. I was like, oh, what the hell am I going to do today? You know, just whatever. And I kept catching eyes with this other person, and I was like, I need to talk to them. I need to talk to them. I don't know why. I'm not interested in them in like a intimate way. I just know that I need to talk to them. And I also don't want to be weird. And we kept catching eyes, and I was like, oh dear, this is looking really awkward. Like I just need to say hi already. And then one of the friends was like, oh, hey, like, where are you from? And then started up a conversation with all the bunch of people that are celebrating their friend's 40th birthday from the States. And we had such a beautiful conversation about life. They told me a lot about America, which I've never been to. I told them a lot about London and Australia. And it was just a really beautiful rendezvous with a group of people. And I then made some friends out of that. And like I said, guys, you just never know who you're sitting next to. And I want to just leave you with that today out of this whole trip is literally, if you feel called to just say hello to someone or smile at someone, like you could literally make their day, or you could meet someone that's going to be in your life for the rest of your life, you know? So I am extremely grateful for this trip, for this life that I get to live, and that I get to share my journey with you all via this podcast. This is going to be my 104th episode, which will mean that I've done 2 years worth of episodes over than 104 hours. And literally, it's something that I'm so passionate about. It's what I live and breathe, sharing, telling stories about my crazy wild life, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I just am grateful that I get to take you all along with me. And like I said, I love you all so much, and thank you for your support, for your love, and I'm excited to share with you the next adventure of myself and wherever else I end up. So thanks again, and I will see you all in the next episode.
Thank you for being a part of the Generation Elevation community. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to leave a 5-star rating, written review, share, and tag me on Instagram at elise.riley. Until next time, keep loving, keep learning, and keep rising.